Hello again and welcome to the African Descent Forum, the channel that seeks to enrich the African descent diaspora both here in the UK and worldwide. Today in our studio we have Ndidi Nkwopara. Welcome to the African Descent Forum, Ndidi. Ndidi will be sharing her book Retreat to Rebirth with us today, which is nothing short of profound and life-changing. Take a quick look at this.
My name is Ndidi Nkwopara. Retreat to Rebirth is my story about how I overcame challenges, how I built what I call a resilience toolkit. And I'm sharing it to other women who would have found themselves at this place, the dark, deep, dark and painful place I found myself at some point in my life. The book is a memoir. It's not an autobiography. So it captures about 10 years of a very difficult chapter in my life. It starts at the beginning, sort of where I was born in the eastern part of Nigeria and my journey into the northern part of Nigeria where I grew up. And I did that to show a picture of what my life, because I believe that your childhood influences who you become as an adult. Retreat to Rebirth is transformational. In life, we tend to retreat from challenges, but do we make a conscious effort to have a strategy for comeback? So it's one thing to retreat. How do you rebirth? This book will help you because I've shared in it the resilience toolkit that I used myself.
I have to say, first of all, it's an absolute privilege to have you here. But this book has everything from nature, Darwinism, war, disease, marriage, divorce, and travel to start all over again. I'm truly interested in to find out from you first and foremost, before we get into the book, where did you get that determination and resilience? Because here you are launching your own book now.
From somewhere deep inside of me. But first of all, thank you too for having me here. Thank you for the opportunity. The strength and courage from somewhere in between. You know, when they say to you that you're stronger than you know, you never really know. But it was, I suppose, in there. I needed to awaken it. The challenges awakened it for me. And I responded in the best way that I could. But I also think, in addition, my faith, the love from my siblings, my mother, the need to be there for my children, the need to grab a second chance if life was kind enough to give it to me. That's
wonderful, wonderful. Well, let me ask you a couple of things about the book before, Retreat to Rebirth, My Story. It's a compelling title. What inspired the title?
The eagle. The eagles, for years I've been fascinated about the eagle. Its ability to make life-changing, well, not decisions, but the eagle at the age of 40 has to make some very strategic changes. Otherwise it will die. It has to withdraw, retreat to the mountaintop for about 150 years. Get rid of it, because at this age the feathers are weak, the talons are weak, the claws. It needs to go up. And I don't know I'm not sure if this is a myth or a real thing, but I was fascinated by it. And in a way, it resembled my story because it looked like I had lost all. But learning from other people's experiences, reading, and from the doctors, from the medical reports showing me that, okay, I can make some changes, I grabbed whatever help was out there, whatever change I could make, I made it just like the eagle. And today I'm privileged to be standing here and sharing my story.
I was fascinated by the eagle as well. I didn't know that about the eagle, but I can see the similarities, how you brought them both together.
Yes, indeed.
Your book has a strong sense of cultural and religious expectations. Could you please share with us some of the challenges for you in making a change for what was best for you?
Well, I think growing up in a military background, my father was a military officer, so we grew up to obey orders. And being an Igbo girl, and marrying an Igbo person, I was very conscious of cultural expectations, especially the need to have a male child, because in that part of Nigeria, and again, it's not peculiar to Nigeria or Africa, even in the Asian communities, the male child is preferred over the female child. So in spite of my level of education and knowledge, in spite of the global call to protect the female child, safeguard her rights, remove all forms of discrimination, culture is still powerful. Religion that expects you to be submissive to your husband, to do what's right. A society that places marriage almost above every other thing. If you're not married as a woman, you have little or no value. And so, subsumed by all these expectations, for some reason I just let my own values, my own personal ambitions. At some point I struggled with being ambitious. Is there a problem with being ambitious as a woman? Should I just be contented with staying at home and raising kids, And so yes, I went through all of this until my life was threatened. It wasn't until, because along the line I developed hypothyroidism and didn't treat it because medically I was advised that it would affect my chances of fertility. Don't do anything to compromise your to reduce your chances of having this male child. And I went along with this narrative until my life was at risk. And one day, while driving through the traffic, I slept up because I was suffering from hypothyroidism. It was untreated, and one of the debilitating effects is chronic fatigue and drowsiness. And unfortunately, I was driving that day, and I drove into, I could have driven onto the lane with oncoming vehicles. So the shock of it, that I could have died. That was my wake-up call, And that was the day I was really frightened. I reevaluated my life. Like, how did I get here? Because at the core of me, I believe every life is precious, male or female. We're worth a lot more. I believe in people maximizing their potentials. How did I get here? And so that was the start of my change, yes.
Well, thank you so much for sharing that. You overcame cancer and now promoting health and well-being. Could you touch a little bit more on that, please, for us?
Okay. So when I took the decision to treat the hypothyroidism, I thought, that was the most, maybe that was the biggest curveball I've been thrown. Let me treat this and then do more with my life. Maybe go into some of the things I've loved to do, especially even writing a book, running a business, But along the line, because it was enlarged, and along the line, a biopsy revealed that it was cancerous. I don't know. That was a bigger shock. And I went down on my knees and I admitted, yes, I got it wrong. I neglected my health, but dear Lord, give me a second chance for me and for my daughters. I had 4 daughters and I was still looking for a male child. So I did a lot of reading. I went through the course of treatment, went through the radioiodine therapy, did a lot of reading, biographies, recovery stories, Norman Cousins' book, on hope and, laughter, being grateful. I did a lot of changes, and it was a holistic, I adopted a holistic approach. I started by forgiving myself and also understanding that who we are, the decisions we make, go way back to our childhood, expectations of culture. So it matters indeed who you give I'd given my power away. So I decided to forgive myself, start all over, adopt a healthier lifestyle, learn to laugh more, be grateful for each day, and then decided to share it in a book to help others. Yes.
Well, it is a profound read. It really is.
Thank you. Thank you.
I was thinking as well, when you was writing the book, what audience did you have in mind?
Most importantly, women. I would say the first, women at crossroads, because women who have low self-esteem and lack courage, because that's where I was. I lacked the courage to stand up for myself, to make the best of the talents I had. So first is women, but it's also about cancer patients and their family members, because it takes a toll on everyone around. So it's a book that I hoped that it would show the power, the resilience of the human spirit, yes.
How much has your faith enabled you to have that strength of courage and the belief that you can be greater than where you are now?
I credit a lot to my faith, because it helps me see that where there's a power bigger than me, there's something else I can tap into. When I've exhausted all that I know, when I've done all that I know, there's still somebody I can lean on somewhere. So my faith really helped me to stand strong, and the stories of others who have recovered, who have overcome, I leaned on that as well.
I found the book really inspiring, and yes, there was a very strong element for women, but I also think men could learn a lot from reading this book, just about the female psyche and the determination and the resilience in yourself as an extraordinary woman, I have to say. So where can anybody buy this book?
Yes, you can get the book on my website, www.soaringwithdidi.com. It's available on Amazon as well, and a number of bookshops. And people are welcome to follow me on Soaring with Didi on all social media platforms.
It's been amazing talking to you, Ndidi. What next?
Well, I'm still writing and working actively as a coach, helping other women, especially in the area of health and well-being. And my second book, Poverty is a Woman, it's out, it's published, but not very available. It will be available on all platforms as well at some point in November. And I'm also, I'm doing well as an entrepreneur, selling natural skincare products, because I believe in holistic approach to anything we're doing. And as a creative too, I'm working on the Leeds 2023 cultural project, and it's quite exciting.
Well, I want to say thank you so much for coming here, and I hope everybody gets a copy of this book, right? Retreat to Rebirth, My Story. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Milton. Thank you for having me.
Thank you all for joining us at the African Descent Forum. See you all soon. Bye-bye for now.